Hello students, hope you are studying well at your home. In the previous video, we discussed about the embryo formation of dicot and in monocot plants. Now let's move on the next topic, that is seeds and fruits. As you all know that seed is the end product of sexual reproduction, or we can say is the end product of fertilization process. After fertilization, ovary will convert into the fruit and the fertilized ovule will convert into the seed. So we will talk about the seeds and then we'll move on to the next topic, that is fruit. So let's start with the seed. Seed is the end product of fertilization. After fertilization, seed are formed, and this is a very important and critical process in the form of sexual reproduction, because this seed is now will convert into, or it will be able to convert a new plant. It is able to give rise to the new plant. Seed has some important parts. Let's see what are the important parts of the seeds. Seed have seed coat. Seed have outer covering, that is known as seed coat. Next thing that the seed has is the cotyledon. And seed has one embryo. It contain one embryo also. If we draw the structure of the seed, let's draw the structure of the seed and then see what are the important parts of the seeds are there. This is the dicot seeds. In the case of dicot seed, we see that this is the outermost covering, that is seed coat. This is the seed coat, or in this seed coat here a scar-like structure is found, or hole-like structure is found here. That scar or hole is known as micropyle. This is micropyle, and above these micropyle a scar is found, that is hilum. This is the place by which the seed get attached inside the ovule. This is the place by which the seed get attached inside the ovule. यहीं से जो seed है वो ovule के अंदर attached form में रहेगा. And this micropyle, it helps to take oxygen or take air to the seed. It's help in the taking of air. So air can be taken inside by the seed through this micropyle. Outside covering is the seed coat. This is the structure of the seed. If we draw the structure of the inner view of the seed, let's see what are there inside the seed. Seed के अंदर क्या चीजें हैं, अगर हम उसके बारे में बात करते हैं, what is present inside the seed. This is the embryonal axis, the center part. This center part is the embryonal axis. This embryonal axis is further give rise to the new plant. So it's able to give rise to the new plants. Upside it's a plumule and lower side forms the radicle and is able to give rise to new plants. And these two structures are cotyledon. These two are the cotyledons. This is the structure of a seed, typical seed. Now, seed coat. If we discuss about the seed coat, this seed coat, that outer covering of the seed is seed coat. How this seed coat is formed? Seed coat is formed by the integuments. The integuments that is present in the ovule is responsible for the formation of seed coat. As you know, angiospermic ovules are bitegmic, means they have two integuments. So these two integuments are responsible for formation of the seed coat. Integument से seed coat बन जाएगा. And the next thing that we will discuss here is about the cotyledons. Cotyledons are the reserve food material which gives nourishment to the growing embryo. Growing embryo को nourishment देने के लिए जो structure present रहती है seed के अंदर, this is the cotyledon. These two are the cotyledons and they give nourishment to the growing embryo until the embryo is not able to form its own food. जब तक embryo develop करेगा roots को और अपने shoot को, जब तक इसमें leaves grow होंगी, photosynthesis करेंगी, roots grow होके water absorb करना start करेंगी, तब तक के लिए जो nourishment provide होगा इस embryo को, इस growing embryo को, that will be given by these two cotyledons. तो ये cotyledons जो होते हैं ये reserve food provide करते हैं, nourishment provide करते हैं growing embryo को. And embryo, it will give rise to new plant. ये new plant को rise करने के लिए responsible होता है. So this is the structure. On the basis of the reserve food material, as we have discussed in the process of double fertilization, हमने डबल फर्टिलाइजेशन प्रोसेस डिस्कस किया था. एक छोटा सा एक जस्ट रिकॉल करते हैं उस प्रोसेस को, अगर आपको ध्यान नहीं है देन यू गो टू अवर previous video also in which we explain the double fertilization process. डबल फर्टिलाइजेशन प्रोसेस के अंदर एक मेल गैमेट एग के साथ फ्यूज होके जाइगोट बनाने का काम करता है, जबकि दूसरा मेल गैमेट जो सेंट्रल सेल है उसके साथ फ्यूज होके एंडोस्पर्म फॉर्म करता है. एंड दिस कंप्लीट प्रोसेस मींस fusion of male gamete with egg, that is syngamy or fertilization, and second the fusion of second male gamete with central cell by which the endosperm, triploid endosperm is formed. Primary endosperm nucleus is formed and then it forms the endosperm. These two combined known as double fertilization, and this double fertilization process is the unique characteristic feature of angiospermic plants. ये एंजियोस्पर्म्स के अंदर मिलने वाला एक यूनिक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर है. तो इस डबल फर्टिलाइजेशन प्रोसेस से क्या फॉर्म हुआ? एंडोस्पर्म. दिस इज द इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेप दैट एंडोस्पर्म इज फॉर्म्ड एंड दिस एंडोस्पर्म गिव नरिशमेंट टू ग्रोइंग एम्ब्रियो. नाउ ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द एंडोस्पर्म, if endosperms remains after the development of embryo, when seed is become mature and embryo is now able to give rise to new plant, at that time if endosperms is present in the seeds, then or it is not present, then on the basis of these two criteria seeds are divided into two categories. हम seed को दो category में divide करते हैं, albuminous seed and second one is the non-albuminous seed. We have two categories of seeds, albuminous and non-albuminous seeds. Albuminous seeds are the seeds in which एंडोस्पर्म्स remains, the seeds in which endosperms remain, इनके अंदर एंडोस्पर्म प्रेजेंट रहेगा. ये चीज आपको याद रखनी है. these seeds contain or these seeds have endosperms at the time of embryo development, when embryo after the development of embryo, when embryo become mature and it's now able to give rise to plant, at that time they have endosperms as a reserve food material. Such type of seeds are known as albuminous seeds, and the seeds which do not have endosperms are known as non-albuminous seeds. They are also known as endospermic seeds or non-endospermic seeds also. So there are some important examples of these two types of seeds. हमारे पास बहुत important examples हैं, albuminous and non-albuminous दोनों ही तरीके के seeds के. Albuminous seeds, examples of albuminous seeds that we have are, here we have to write the examples of albuminous seeds. These are wheat, rice, maize, barley, castor. These are the some important example of albuminous seeds. These are the seeds which contain endosperms at the time of embryo development, and when embryos start becoming a new plant. And non-albuminous seeds, these are the seeds which do not contain endosperm. So we can say endosperm is not present. इनके अंदर endosperm present नहीं होगा. So these seeds they do not have endosperms, they do not have any reserve food. These type of seeds, example of these type of seeds are pea, groundnut. Example of such kind of seeds are pea and groundnuts. So here we discussed about two categories of seeds on the basis of presence of endosperms, presence or absence of endosperms. Here one more type of seeds are there. We already discussed about them also already in our previous video, but here we will recall it again. On the basis of nucellus, that is the outer tissue, nutritive tissues present in the embryo sac. These nucellus tissues, if remain persistent, if nucellus tissues remain persistent in the seed, then such type of seeds are known as perispermic seeds. अगर nucellar tissues persistent रहेंगे तो उस तरीके के seeds को बोला जाता है perispermic seeds. And the example of perispermic seeds we have already discussed. That is the black pepper and beetroot. Beet is the example of perispermic seeds. Here we discussed about the seed. Now these seeds, after formation, these seeds are now able to get dispersed because they do not have dependence on water for the pollination and for fertilization, and they do not have dependence for pollination or dispersal also. They can be get dispersed by different ways, and after dispersal they are able to germinate and they are able to form a new plant. सीड डिस्पर्स होंगे, फॉर्मेशन के बाद पूरी प्रोसेस हो गई, फर्टिलाइजेशन हो गया, फर्टिलाइजेशन के बाद सीड फॉर्म हो गया है, सीड फॉर्म होने के बाद अब ये सीड आसानी से डिस्पर्स हो सकते हैं, डिस्पर्स होने के बाद सीड ग्रो करेंगे एंड दे फॉर्म अ न्यू प्लांट. बट in some plants, seeds directly do not germinate. They remain in a state in which they become inactive. Such period of the seed in which they are not able to germinate or they take some rest. This rest period of the seeds are known as its dormancy period. We call it seed dormancy. In the seed dormancy, seeds, the water content inside the seeds are get reduced and they remain in inactive state. This dormancy period depends on seed to seed. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं हर किसी का dormancy period same हो, किसी किसी seed का dormancy period बहुत short होता है and some seeds have long dormancy period जिसमें वो बहुत सालों तक dormancy में रहते हैं and then they will germinate. So this is about the germination and dormancy of these seeds. This process, this germination process, after the germination, these seeds are able to form a new plant. Now let's talk about the next topic of our today's topic, that is fruits. Now we will discuss about the fruits. The fruit which are formed due to the after fertilization, the fertilized ovary will convert into the fruit. जब fertilization होगा, fertilization होने के बाद हमारे पास क्या मिल रहा है हमें? We get a ovary which get fertilized, जिसमें ovary के अंदर fertilization होगा. That fertilized ovary, उस fertilized ovary को ही हम क्या मान के चल रहे हैं? That fertilized ovary will give rise to fruit. ये fertilized ovary ही fruit को form करेगी. And inside the ovary it has fertilized ovule which will convert into the seed. In fertilized ovary के अंदर होगा fertilized ovule जो कि seed को form करेगा and fertilized ovary will form the fruit. Now this ovary, the wall of the ovaries form the pericarp of the fruits, the outer layer of the fruits, and on the basis of the formation of the fruits, how or which part of the flower will take part in the formation of the fruits. फ्लावर के कौन से पार्ट फ्रूट फॉर्मेशन में पार्ट्स लेते हैं, उनके बेसिस पे हम फ्रूट्स की टू कैटेगरी यहाँ पे डिस्कस करेंगे. द फर्स्ट कैटेगरी दैट इज द ट्रू फ्रूट. True fruits. We have two categories of the fruits on the basis of the part of the flower which takes participation in the fruit formation. First, true fruits, and second category is the false fruit. Let's see what are there. In true fruits, in the case of true fruits, the ovary, only the ovary will take part in the fruit formation. Here, all other parts of the flower get fallen off. After fertilization, there is no need of pistil, stamen, sepal, and petal. These parts of flower are no more required. So, after fertilization, if all the parts of the flower get removed or get fall off, and only fertilized ovary will convert into the fruit, such type of fruits are known as true fruits. But in the case of false fruit, thalamus or some other parts also responsible for the formation of fruit. In the false fruit, the thalamus you also know that is the part on which all parts of the flowers remain attached. So if thalamus take parts in the formation of fruit, such type of fruits are known as false fruit. And we have some important example on which the questions can be asked in some exams. Apple, strawberry and cashews, etc. are the some example of false fruits. These are the fruits in which thalamus also take part in the fruit formation. Besides these two types of the fruits, true fruits and false fruits, we have one more type of the fruits that are known as parthenocarpic fruit. अब हम एक और तरीके के fruit के बारे में बात करेंगे and it's also very important topic. Parthenocarpic fruit. What is the meaning of this process? The parthenocarpic. What is parthenocarpic? Let's see. Parthenocarpic fruits are the fruits which are formed without fertilization process. हमने पूरा chapter complete कर लिया. हमने देखा male gamete, female gamete both get mature and then after pollination, fertilization process take place and after fertilization, seed and fruit will form. But in such type of plants in which parthenocarpic fruits are formed, these are the plants in which fruits formed without fertilization. So these are the fruits which forms without fertilization. यहाँ पे किसी भी तरीके का fertilization नहीं हो रहा है, बस fruit बन रहे हैं. This type of fruits are known as parthenocarpic fruits. This is very important topic. The example of some naturally occurring parthenocarpic fruits, example of such type of fruit is banana. Banana is naturally occurring parthenocarpic fruit in which fruits forms without fertilization, and such type of fruits are seedless fruits. These fruits are seedless. Why we call them seedless? Because there is no fertilization. If fertilization do not take place, then how the seed can be formed? Fertilization ही नहीं हो रहा, तो seed कैसे बनेगा? So these type of fruits are seedless fruits. Nowadays, lots of research is going on, and scientists have developed some other fruits of some other parthenocarpic fruits also. Like in today's, we can see that we can get the grapes also. So we can get grapes which are parthenocarpic and they are artificially grown parthenocarpic fruits. आज के टाइम पे हम कुछ ग्रेप्स के एग्जांपल ऐसे देखते हैं, हमें ऐसे ग्रेप्स नजर आते हैं जो पार्थेनोकार्पिक फ्रूट्स हैं, जो आर्टिफिशियली ग्रो करवाएंगे विद द हेल्प ऑफ हार्मोन्स एंड सम केमिकल्स, एंड दीज टाइप ऑफ फ्रूट्स डू नॉट कंटेन सीड. So these are seedless parthenocarpic fruits. Naturally occurring parthenocarpic fruit is banana, and besides banana, today's some artificially grown parthenocarpic fruits are also available in the market. So with this, we today discussed about the seed and fruits. Now in the next video, we will discuss about the next topic of our chapter, that is apomixis and polyembryony. So keep watching, keep studying and keep learning.